Bob shakes his sleepy head as he hits the alarm. Time to get up for another day in Cryptostan. Bob is getting a renovation done, so his solar panels had to be temporarily removed, which means he can't generate any power. This isn't an issue though, as his neighbor Kevin has some extra energy that he can transfer to Bob. In return, Bob gives Kevin a handful of sunshine coins. Unfortunately, Bob notices that he ran out of sunshine coins. Anticipating this problem, he had opened up some of his unused bandwidth to a friend who was trying to download every season of How I Met Your Mother in return for some land coins. His decentralized Crypto Hub app automatically exchanges the land coins for sunshine coins and transfers them to Kevin. Bob heads out to the supermarket to get himself some coffee. When he walks across the aisles, his eye falls on a new brand called Crazy Coffee Beans. The packaging looks pretty slick and Bob is tempted to put the bag in his cart, but first he scans the label of the product. He sees that the coffee was packaged in a factory in Bloxovania and that the beans were farmed in Ethiopia. There is an orange box which says, "Warning, 40% of workers in Ethiopia get paid less than minimum wage." This upsets Bob and he puts down the coffee beans. He decides to get his regular coffee, which is farmed by local farmers who get paid a fair price. When Bob gets home, he has some breakfast and coffee, gets dressed and heads to work. He orders a self-driving taxi, but since he is a little late, he ups the amount of tokens he is willing to pay to receive faster service. The moment he steps into the car, microtransactions of tokens automatically take place for every meter the car drives. When he arrives at work, he steps out of the car. The payment is already done and the car drives off. It's going to be a busy morning at work. Bob needs to find clients who are willing to invest in their new startup. Their venture is selling stone sculptures made by Himalayan craftsmen. When Bob goes looking for potential investors, he uses a crowdfunding website called WeFund. On this website, the business gets a rating according to the reputation it has. For example, people can see if the furniture in the office is expensive, how high the carbon footprint of the company is, and how many deals in the past have been upheld. To gain extra credibility, the company also broadcasts how much each employee gets paid, how many vacation days they get, and how long they have worked on the project. Based on this rating, the company gets more or less exposure on WeFund, and potential investors can decide if they are interested or not. After a hard day at work, Bob drops by a restaurant on the way home. He orders a chicken salad. Like always, the salad is very eco-friendly, which is something Bob is very conscious of. His digital identity reflects this as well. He has a very low carbon footprint, wears durable and fair trade clothing, and volunteers at the local homeless shelter. When Bob gets home, he checks his email one last time before he goes offline. He sees that his local energy supplier is doing customer research and wants access to his data. They offer 1 energy token for each week of data that Bob can provide about his energy spending. But Bob would rather keep his data private, so he doesn't respond. Now it's time to kick back, have a cup of tea, and head to bed. It's just another day in Cryptostan. What we witnessed here is what the future may possibly look like if we integrate blockchain technology in our lives. The cornerstones of blockchain, the immutability and the transparency, open up endless possibilities for innovation. One of the most exciting things is the creation of different token economies. Basically what this means is that anything can be tokenified, or at least anything that holds value. Inherently, no currency holds any value. It's simply that we all agree that a certain currency has value that gives it value. Currencies are simply a social protocol. Currently, the primary way we do this is by using fiat currencies. Of course, there are still other things that hold value, like gold, and you can also trade goods for other goods, but mostly we use fiat. The problem with these classical currencies is that they are very rigid and limited in their use. There are things that they can't buy, like a good reputation. They are also very restricted in that certain currencies can only be used in certain places. For example, you can't use your American dollar in South Africa, at least not without letting it pass through a third party and paying for the exchange. Tokens, on the other hand, can be used for a broader scope. Not only can they be used to value a product, but they can also be used to value a process. You could record on the blockchain what components you have used in your product and who worked on it. Once it's on the blockchain, it can't be changed, so customers can fully trust you. It also gives you the freedom to possess and sell your own data. Where big services are now using your data for targeted advertising and customer profiling, you can be in control and decide if they can have access to your data and if this comes at a cost. This applies to everything. On the one hand, you can record everything you do on the blockchain, but you also hold the control of what gets broadcasted to whom, giving a perfect balance between privacy, transparency, and trust. Basically, what it comes down to is that the blockchain allows us to trade value in all forms in a peer-to-peer fashion, whether it be information, labor, or a product. All this is just a peek behind the curtain, and the scope of possibilities is far greater. Using these basic principles, you can think for yourself what would be possible. And thanks to a lot of amazing people all around the world working incredibly hard, many of these ideas will become reality. For now though, we are going to exit the crypto stage. In this series, we have gone through the history of money and the blockchain. We've had a look at how the blockchain works and how you can join the community by creating your own wallets and start trading on exchanges. And now, lastly, at how this technology will revolutionize our future. So, one last time, I'm going to thank you for watching. And I truly hope this series taught you something and got you excited for this awesome technology. If you did like it, be sure to share this with your friends and leave a comment down below. I will see you soon.